Hello, you are watching Ship Handling Exam Situation Lesson 4. In this lesson I will share with you my understanding of what is expected of you in the exam room when it comes to ship handling situations. In Ship Handling Lesson 3 we covered ship handling exam tips, turning short round, snubbing around an anchor, running more, standing more, open more and Mediterranean more. This lesson is part 2 of ship handling exam situations. All situations are for a medium-sized ship with right-handed fixed-pitch propeller. So let's get started. You can use a standard template answer as your introduction for any ship handling situation. I will call them standard operational procedures for all situations. I am presenting them as 6 SOPs and you can modify them to suit your answering style. Procedure 1. I will review berthing plan for any changes or updates and also carry out a dynamic risk assessment. 2. I will brief forwards and aft party on the approach and also details such as identification of mooring plan, first line ashore, final position of the ship, use of anchors, etc. And I will also make sure that they are fully familiarized with any additional risks. Number 3. My engine and my engineers will be standing by and I will discuss the approach with my chief engineer, ensuring items such as our standby generator, enough starting air, power to mooring and anchoring equipment is available. 4. Prior to making an approach, I will check that fore and aft mooring party is standing by. 5. I will test and establish communications with shoreside, particularly with linesmen and mooring boats if available. 6. I will check bridge equipment such as radar, EGDIS and echo sounder are set up correctly for the berthing operations and both steering pumps are running. Well, this template can be modified by you for unberthing or anchoring situations as well. So first situation is port side alongside and there is no wind or current. So this is a simple situation and does not carry any significant risk. So first of all, I advise you to go through your 6 standard operational procedures for berthing first. And then following are the brief 6 steps that I will take. Step 1. Approach the berth at an angle of between 20 to 30 degrees and control your speed to bare minimum. Step 2. Stop the vessel over the ground in a position with the ship's bow approximately at 20 meters from the berth. Step 3. Pass a double headline and a forward spring. Step 4. With equal weight on headlines and springs, your rudder midships, go astern on the engines to get transverse thrust, pull the stern towards the jetty. Step 5. Pass your stern lines and aft springs and stop the engine and use the lines to bring the ship alongside. And final step, make fast as required. This situation is for port side alongside with onshore wind. This situation carries risk in case you let the wind control your ship. So trick here is to use the onshore wind to your advantage while controlling the bow approach to the jetty with your anchor and letting the wind assist you in bringing the stern in. So going ahead on your engine will walk the stern towards starboard in case you need to use transverse thrust to arrest or slow down the impact of onshore wind on your stern. So go through initially your 6 standard operational procedures for berthing and then following are the 7 steps. Step 1. I'll make a slow approach with approximately 50 degrees angle with the jetty. I will stop the vessel over the ground such that the ship's bow is in line with the center of my final berthing position. Step 2. I will walk back starboard anchor. Step 3. I will ease out the cable and control the approach by engine and rudder. Step 4. I will check cable within a heaving line distance from the berth. Step 5. I'll pass headlines while using engine ahead movement to control the rate of stern approach. When I go ahead on the engine, stern walks to starboard on a right-handed fixed propeller ship. So using engine ahead kicks, I will find a right balance between the wind pushing stern towards the jetty and transverse thrust on ahead movement walking the stern out. Step 6. I'll make fast fore and aft. And step 7. I will slack down starboard anchor cable when alongside. This situation is to bring your ship port side alongside with offshore wind. This situation does not carry a significant risk, but bringing the ship in can become difficult, particularly in strong wind. So go through your 6 standard operational procedures first, and then following are the 6 steps. Step 1. To reduce the effect of wind, I will make an approach at a wide angle. 2. I will prepare to send a heaving line for my stern line from the bow of the ship. Step 3. When at a heaving line range, I will pass 2 headlines and the stern line. Step 4. After taking equal weight on both headlines, I will stay dead slow astern on my engine to allow transverse thrust assist in pulling stern towards the berth. Step 5. I'll take weight on the stern line and pull easy. I may need to double the stern line if transverse thrust is not effective during strong offshore wind. And finally, step 6. Using ropes and transverse thrust, I will draw the vessel alongside and secure. Sometimes your examiner may insist you going alongside on a particular side, such as in this case. And the case is starboard side alongside with tide and onshore wind. This situation carries significant risk if you do not stem the tide. So go through your 6 standard operational procedures for berthing first, and then you can use the following steps. So I will not attempt to maneuver the ship with a following current. I will first go past my berth downstream and turn the ship around, or I will snub around the anchor to stem the tide. So further, step 1, I will stem the tide and go past my berthing position upstream such that my stern is in line with the bollard, which will hold my stern line once finally berthed. Step 2. Once at a heaving line reach, I will pass a double mooring rope from the starboard quarter and also bring the port anchor down to the waterline. Step 3. I will give a long kick astern on main engines to bring the vessel stern in towards the quayside by using the transverse thrust. Step 4. I will use the current to turn the bow to starboard while keeping the ropes tight. Step 5. When the center line of the ship is perpendicular to berth, I will walk the port anchor down to control the rapid swing caused by tide and wind. Step 6. I will drudge the anchor at short stay if possible. Otherwise, I will pay out in a controlled manner to allow wind to push the ship alongside. Step 7. I will use the stern engine kicks to keep stern off the berth when required. And step 8. I will pass a headline and forward spring and ease the cable as ship closes the berth. Entering a dock with wind and tide astern. So you can go through your 6 standard operational procedures first and then use the following steps. Step 1. I'll stem the tide first by turning short round or by snubbing around an anchor. Now you can visit my lesson 3 again on how to take a short round turn or how to snub around an anchor. Step 2. I'll maneuver the ship to go port side alongside on the downstream dock end by headlines and back spring. So again here you can follow the steps for going to port side alongside as described earlier. Step 3. I will rig portable fenders along the port side midships area. Step 4. I will go ahead on the engine to bring the knuckle of the dock entrance midships on the vessel's port side. Step 5. I'll send a second headline from the starboard bow to upstream dock entrance. I'll take the weight on this headline and cast off the aft spring. Step 6. I'll bring the ship's head inside the dock by engine kicks and also by heaving on the headline. Step 7. I'll pass a second headline to a bollard further ahead to pull the ship further in. And step 8. I will then send out stern line and forward spring on the port side once the vessel is inside the dock. Okay, that's me done for this lesson. You need to practice these situations on your own now. Remember the tricks of the trade that I shared in my previous ship handling situations lesson. And in my next lesson, we will discuss a few more berthing situations. So see you then. Bye.